Animal Rescue. This is a story about a girl named Scout who loves nothing more than to figure things out. Scout lives with her mum, her dad and their dog, and her best friend Vinny, the poison dart frog. One day when she'd dressed and had eaten her toast, Scout asked her mum what had arrived in the post. Her mum read from a leaflet and shrieked, "All is not fine! Our neighbourhood animals are started to decline." So Scout ran back upstairs to sit on her bed, where she thought long and hard about what was just said. "Emergency meeting!" cried out Scout. "What's happening to the animals? Let's figure this out." "I know. I'll pack a bag, a flask, a scrapbook, and my favourite pencil case to scribble my thoughts and take action with pace." Scout went into her garden to look for some clues and found a tiny tool set, a hammer and some screws. Suddenly, wood chips started flying with a chop, 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 and down came some branches with a plop, plop, plop. At the base of the tree stood a weird bearded bug who was agitated, flustered, and in need of a big hug. Excuse me, sir, why are you chopping at this tree? Please pause for a minute." Then Scout offered him some tea. The bug explained, "I need this dead wood to build a new house for my hundreds of kids and my newlywed spouse." "Leave it with me," Scout said while she scribbled in her book, then went over to the tree to take a closer look. The bug agreed, so off Scout went. Strolling down the path, Scout came across a hog who was plodding through the garden with a trudge and a slog. The hedgehog scuttled over to Scout in such a huff. "I can't find my way home," it said. "It's proving way too tough." Scout asked the little hog, "Whereabouts are you from?" Who replied, "I live behind this fence with my dad and my mum." "Leave it with me," Scout said while she scribbled in her book, then peeped over the fence to take a closer look. The hog agreed, so off Scout went. Venturing round the front, Scout heard a troubled sound from a squirrel collecting nuts which were scattered upon the ground. Scout questioned the squirrel, who seemed in quite a struggle, then watched it bob and weave and then begin to juggle. The squirrel replied, "Everywhere I dig, there's fake grass on the ground. If I can't bury my nuts, I have to carry them around." "Leave it with me," Scout said while she scribbled in her book, then dropped to the ground to take a closer look. The squirrel agreed, so off Scout went. Strolling to the shed, Scout pondered long and hard. "I must help my friends," she thought, "who live in my backyard. Let's see. Bug has no wood, hog has got lost, squirrel's nuts will go bad if left out in the frost. What is the root cause? These problems must be linked. Now with animals in decline, perhaps they'll go extinct." Looking for inspiration, Scout noticed household waste, which is abundantly available and needs to be embraced. "I've got it," Scout said. "I'll create some rescue kits. By reusing these materials, they'll be an instant hit." Collecting all her notes, Scout turned them into plans. "This will work," she shouted, "but I will need some extra hands." With the animals all on board, Scout briefed the new recruits, then handed out some hard hats and steel toe cap boots. The animals started working, making lots of noise. Sawing, sanding, hammering and banging, a cacophony of noises with all sorts of clanging. Once fully assembled, Scout's ideas were then installed. "How amazing! We've done it!" they all triumphantly called. Bug loved his new home, and Hedgehog found her way. Squirrel could not believe that her nuts were stored away. The animals were now happy, and the teamwork was fun. Scout was delighted with the work they had done.